So Nvidia shares have been slumping today after the Trump administration announced it's going to restrict the sale of its H20 chip to China. It's the latest move in that trade war between U.S. and China specifically. For more on what this means in the tech sector, let's go to Cory Johnson. He's the chief market strategist for Epistrophy Capital Research. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So is this particular chip a big part of export sales for Nvidia?
It's very important for this company. It was 13% of revenues last quarter. And, you know, that's not just 13% of revenues for a normal company. It's one of the greatest quarters in the history of business in the world. And when it's double-digit percentage of revenues, it's a big deal. It's also important because Nvidia had a particular manufacturing process only for this chip, which is to say they can't reuse these wafers on the Blackwell chip or anything else. They were making wafers with Taiwan Semiconductor specifically for this H20 chip because that was the requirement the U.S. government put on these chips. But now the government's saying, and we knew there was a battle about this going on. We know that under the Biden administration, this rule was suggested. Then Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo decided that it was not a great idea and did not implement it. But there's been a battle going on over this. We also know that Jensen Huang, the CEO of Nvidia, was at Mar-a-Lago. NPR reported that they actually did a deal with President Trump where they would not restrict these chips, but they have indeed decided to restrict these and a similar chip from AMD, which is really slapping around the semiconductor sector right now.
How difficult is it for them to pivot on something like this, or is that market just closed off to them?
It's done. It's over. It's all over. It's not going to come back. I think that, you know, I'm curious how Canadians are looking at what's going on in Washington, D.C. right now, presumably not favorably. But there was one thing, and maybe only one thing, that both Democrats and Republicans agree on in Washington, D.C., and that is the persistent threat of an artificial intelligence-powered China. And these increasing amounts of or number of products that are banned from being sold into China, whether it's the lithography machines from ASML, whether it's the Nvidia Blackwell chips, and now the H20 chips and AMD chips that are of a similar stripe. It's clear that the government of the United States recognizes that an AI-powered China is a threat.
Okay, so let's talk about what this does to the company as far as it being competitive, because there are others working on AI chips, and I'm just wondering where you see it. Is it going to sort of lose its spot as a company that everybody did want to invest in and thought was going to continue to bounce back after what has happened so far this year?
Well, it's an interesting way for NVIDIA to deal with saying, this is a problem. We've got all these wafers. We're going to take one write-off, and it's going to be over, as opposed to just kind of deal with hurt margins for a while and maybe have it bleed into a year's worth of problems. NVIDIA is going to sell out every chip that they can possibly make. Now they're just going to be more focused on selling those Blackwell chips. And I think what's interesting, again, about this process is the process of making these chips is different as well. What a momentous week for NVIDIA. This same week, Taiwan Semiconductor at a new plant in Arizona made its first Blackwell chip for NVIDIA. So this global phenomenon of reshoring into the United States, of moving semiconductor manufacturing in the United States, policies of the Biden administration, policies that the Trump administration has been hostile to, the CHIPS Act. The Trump administration talks a lot about wanting to move manufacturing back to the United States, but at the same time, they're hostile to the CHIPS Act, which is doing what? Moving manufacturing to the United States. Yeah. But that process under the Biden administration has resulted in NVIDIA being able to make some of these chips here in the United States. Now these new export controls are going to make sure those chips stay in friendly hands, if you will.
I've got about a minute left. I'm just wondering what other companies are affected by the announcement from Washington.
So it's not limited to AMD and to NVIDIA, because a lot of the chips that surround and literally surround the NVIDIA chips, the memory chips that might surround them, the memory usage of the NVIDIA GPUs and the AMD GPUs is greater than the use of other GPUs or other CPUs. So which is to say you need more memory, you need more high bandwidth memory. So the high bandwidth memory being sold by Micron, being sold by Samsung, being sold by Hynix, those are going to sell less into China. Broadcom similarly will probably see fewer sales into China as a result of these greatest, most memory demanding of chips being sold into China as well.
All right, I do have to leave it there. Cory Johnson, sir, thanks for joining us. Appreciate your time.
It's good to see you. Thank you for having me.